Hi everyone, welcome back to Tamara Talks Tarot. I'm going to do another timeless reading for the collective. I'm using the new Lo Scarabeo Fairy Tale Tarot. Sorry, I forgot the box in the other room. I like it. It's a very intuitive read. So I'm having fun playing with them. Okay, for the collective, please. A timeless reading for the collective, please. Okay, the Tower. Foundations are going to rock. There needs to be some major shifting in order to give way to new growth. Okay, we're gonna look into that a little bit more. Let's see what else, please. The Tower, and what else needs to come out for the collective. What else, please, needs to come out for the collective? The Tower, and what else? Okay, how about clarity on the Tower, please? The Fool, a new journey, a new beginning, a leap of faith. Okay. Something that you were not or are not able to bring about change in has resulted in the universe taking measures into its own, I won't say hands, but its own force field. Sometimes when we're backed into a corner between a rock and a hard place, the universe needs to step in and kind of just take matters into its own accord, like push things upon us, force change upon us. But ultimately it is for our highest good. I'm noticing the bells in the clock tower. They look like they're wildly thrashing around. So the bells are ringing. There's definitely some sort of breakthrough that has given you this incredible epiphany or aha moment. The Tower isn't all doom and gloom. It is, yes, sudden change. Yes, it can be chaotic. It can be this sort of upheaval and ripping away, this discomfort in the process. But it's to get our attention. I'm just seeing here, okay, the top of the tower, the roof has been blown off. So it's like, you've had this incredible, massive insight, this intellectual kind of breakthrough epiphany, as I said. And there's no going back. There's no turning back. Once you know what you know, you can't unknow what you know, right? We have this horrible creature, monster, three-headed, troll-looking, I don't know what it is. And it's just, I think, to symbolize the powers behind the scenes, the things that need to be addressed, but you haven't had the maybe courage or really the know-how on how to address them, and now you're being forced to. This is a card about not being given much of a choice. Like I said, if you haven't done much to improve your situation, the universe will step in and pretty much do it for us. Okay, this signifies a new beginning, a fresh start. So maybe you're not bounded by everything you were bounded by beforehand, whatever that may mean to you. And now you can kind of act a bit more carefree, a bit more childlike, tap into that inner child and take these chances that you never could before because you were bound before. It's interesting because the moon is out here, and in this picture it's covered by clouds, I imagine. So now there's maybe a little bit more madness in a sense, like where you're going to go from here could be left up to fate, but you also have control over the situation too. I believe it's half and half. You've got to meet fate halfway, and you've got to just take that leap of faith. You've got to own this opportunity that's been given to you and make the most of it. That's what I'm getting. So let's see, anything more please for the Page of Pentacles. Okay, the Page of Pentacles is about a new opportunity, perhaps in the material realm. So you could find opportunities to make more money, things that are more concrete, things that are more grounded, things that are more solid and dependable and reliable, things that can grow into a more sturdy, solid, and secure foundation, which you didn't have before because the Tower came and it basically ripped apart everything as you knew it. It could be a belief system, right? It could be you've been going on this Fool-like journey. Maybe you've been oblivious. Maybe you've been living in this blissful state of ignorance. And maybe it's been for far too long. And so now you have to own the reality of your situation. It could be financial. It could be dealing with your finances and monetary means. Like maybe you need to be more responsible with your money. You need to find new and inventive ways to earn more money. You need to start living in the here and now and ground yourself in a way that you weren't grounded before. Can I have more clarity, please, on the Page of Pentacles? The Page of Wands. Another messenger. So a message is coming through. You're going to get these sort of downloads because now with the Tower, things have been sort of stripped away and you're better able to see things for the way they really are. I have a phoenix here, like the phoenix rising from the ashes. So you definitely have this very passionate, kind of driven motivation that maybe wasn't there before, or maybe it's more directed and you know what you need to do. I get this feeling. I mean, it's a very kind of premature, you know, I'm getting the 2 pages and the Fool. I definitely am getting a new beginning. There's no question here. Whether that's the way you're thinking and processing, the action that you're putting out into the universe, what you're going to be doing with these newfound thoughts and beliefs, that's entirely up to you. I think the Tower looks to me more of a blessing than anything else in this particular case. I feel like you are definitely tapping into your more youthful side and looking at life in a less serious manner. And I said more realistic and grounded, but it doesn't have to be like of a super serious nature. It's just you're looking for creative, inventive, and innovative ways to express yourself, to create new opportunities for yourself, to add more interest in your life, but in a more constructive, productive, and meaningful way. You want to manifest. You've maybe like things have come to a standstill. Things have sort of just stopped. You feel like you've sort of hit a wall. And so you need to kind of rebuild, but from a different perspective. Okay, anything else, please, for the collective for today's timeless reading? So the Fool, I had said, you know, this could be your new approach, right? A fresh breath. That sort of first step out into the unknown. But it could also be that you've had this sort of way of living in this like blissful ignorance, as I had said, and maybe that's what wasn't getting you the kind of rewards or the kind of results that you were hoping for. Yeah, 5 of Swords. So, you know, you have to look at this opportunity as a way to better yourself. This is what I think today's reading is really all about. You need to heed the signs and look at this opportunity, even if it makes you feel defeated. Don't give in to that defeatism. Think of creative solutions. How are you going to do better next time? What have you learned from this lesson thus far? What has it taught you? What kind of tidbits of information or experience have you gleaned along the way? It's not all for naught. Like, you can't just think, well, it didn't work out, so it was a complete and utter waste of time. That in itself is a lesson learned. So you don't want to do anyone else dirty. You don't want to do anything in an unauthentic kind of way. You always want to lead with integrity. I think coming through this, whatever it is, episode or phase or cycle, you want to look at things like you've planted a new seed. Okay, you planted a new seed, a new phase in your life is about to begin, and you're going to do it with a different kind of fervor and a different kinds of outlook and approach than ever before. It's a very youthful energy. It's a very new energy, but it's one that is going to help rebuild the foundation that otherwise before was quite shaky and unstable. And this could involve inspiration from younger people too. They could be kind of like your muse, and they could be helping to kind of guide you in a brand new direction that's going to bring about some really positive changes. Okay, let's get one more card, please. Actually, I want to ask what the Five of Swords, if we could get clarity, please, on the Five of Swords. Clarity, please, on the Five of Swords. The Nine of Cups, okay. I don't love this Nine of Cups because it's this special kind of like horned rabbit creature in a cage, and he skinned a bear and used it for his chair. But this means that it's like your wish fulfillment, that everything that you've ever wanted, you can manifest, as long as you don't become just like obsessed with attainment and like stooped in your own ego. Stooped or steeped, or anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. As long as you're not hurting anyone else, as long as like you're not gonna, like, I wanted to clarify the Five of Swords. And if you're gonna get to this state using false means, then this state is not what this card truly represents. I mean, it also comes with a warning, like, careful what you wish for. So, you know, the Five of Swords has always been the bully card to me, and to me that's not a victory won. So when people think that they've won, but they haven't done it in the most righteous or just or honest or authentic of ways, then it's like, that's not a victory won. That's just you being a bully or a tyrant. So make sure that your expectations are reasonable and they are realistic. Sometimes a Page of Wands can get a bit carried away. They are this restless spirit, and sometimes they'll think of kind of mischievous means in order to attain what they want and to make their dreams and wishes come true. And that's when we have to step in as adults and remind that inner child that, yes, I could have it sooner if I did it this way, but if I just held out and waited a little bit longer and did it in a more dignified manner, then it will feel more right at the time, and it'll be more fruitful and just feel more true. Okay, true. So yeah, I hope this resonates with someone out there. Please do let me know if it does. Let's see what's at the base of the deck, the bottom of the deck. Yeah, the Eight of Pentacles. I feel like this is more work related. I think that you need to shift your perspective and maybe tap into that more like inner child, and think of ways in which you can create upon that, and that can also become like a more monetary kind of way of attaining your finances, and yeah, cultivating creativity, earning a bit more money, and also enjoying the process. I'm getting enjoying the process, taking some risk, um, leaping into the unknown. With the Page of Wands, there isn't much in the way of risk assessment, especially with the Fool cards. So that's okay. I think if it's done again, if it's done in a very playful like manner, I think that it's going to reward you in turn, and it's going to definitely bring about some beautiful new experiences. Thanks so much for watching, guys.